Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Print All the Things episode 6. Welcome everybody. Today is April 2nd, 2022. I'm recording this episode a little bit late. I meant to record it earlier this week, but I had a lot going on, and but we're here right now. So we got a packed show. More prints than news. Sadly, we couldn't find that much news to talk about. Honestly, I didn't really look for more than a few hours. But PrussiaPrinters.org has rebranded. Let's just start with the news right now. PrussiaPrinters.org has rebranded, and it is now Printables.com. And I gotta say, that is a great domain name. Joseph Prussia over at Prussia, who makes the Prussia Mini and the Prussia MK3S, they announced that shortly after they came up with the PrussiaPrinters.org site that they were going to rebrand it. Now, if you don't know what it is, PrussiaPrinters.org was, the name PrussiaPrinters.org. It was a site where you could store, house, and find STLs and models, much like Thingiverse and My Mini Factory and Cults 3D and a whole bunch of other sites where you can go and search for STLs. Prusia decided to make their own. And I really liked it because the UI and the interface and the speed was very nice. I'm not going to knock the other sites because they had good models up there. But some sites, especially like Thingiverse, their search engine was really awful. And, other sites like My Mini Factory were okay and Cults 3D is okay. But I was glad to see another fighter into the arena, if you will. But the only problem was that people assumed that it was Prusia because it had the name Prusia in the name, PrussiaPrinters.org. But it was just models that can print on any printer. So Joseph recognized this, they've rebranded, and now they have a great domain name, Printables.com. I really like the contests that they run over there. They have these printing contests that's going on all the time. You can win printers, you can win filament, you can win all kinds of stuff. It's a very interactive site. It encourages you to share your prints. So if you download an STL, you can share your make and you get what's called these Prusia meters. I think they're called Prusia meters. And you can use those Prusia meters to redeem prizes like filament. I like filament a lot. So check out Printables.com. Very nice site, and the rebrand has been awesome. I think they nailed a good domain name. I can easily say Printables.com and people know what I'm talking about. Okay, without further ado, let's talk about what's on the printer. This week, we decided to do more Polysmooth. If you didn't catch episode 5, we did Polysmooth with the slate gray, and it was well received. You guys liked what you saw, and you liked the shiny, the smoothness of the Polysmooth. This week is something a little bit different and a little bit more difficult, I might add. We tried to do the transparent. And the transparent is a whole different ballgame than what I did with the slate gray. If you go to Polymaker's site, Polysmooth is by Polymaker, by the way. They talk about the best practices for printing transparent prints. And when they say transparent, they mean transparent. It looks like glass. And one of the things was they recommended was print in spiral vase mode with single perimeters. So if you think about that, you're like, well, that limits what I can print because you can't print everything as, vase mode. It just doesn't work. Well, you can probably, but I can't. And also, they recommended printing at lower temperatures in order to get a more clearer finish on your prints. They recommended as low as 180 to prevent bubbles from forming on your prints so that you can have clear prints. So, with all that being said, I decided, I was like, let me just print Grogu. So we just did a Grogu straight out the box. Didn't change anything. I didn't even put any alcohol on it. It's just straight up Grogu. And it looks like your typical transparent filament. If you've ever owned transparent filament, you can kind of see through it. In this case, you can, if you look closely, you can kind of see some of the infill happening there. So yeah, this is just your typical thing. I just wanted to make sure that I could print with it. So we just did a typical Grogu. So I was like, what would happen, gentle face, what would happen if I printed Grogu in vase mode? Just spiral vase mode, just do a single perimeter. So I did. It didn't work completely, but I got a very cool effect. We got this Grogu shell here. And this one we did apply. We absolutely did apply the alcohol after the fact. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in the previous videos, in episode 5, I believe it was, we showed you and we talked about how you spray alcohol on Polysmooth in order to get this clear finish. So it actually, I was like, I'm going to keep this because it's a really cool effect, even though, you know, his brain is exposed and the print failed. Ultimately, like I said, you can't print everything spiral vase mode without making some changes and stuff. But this actually demonstrates, you know, just how clear this can get with that single perimeter. If I've been saying parameter, I don't mean to. I'm single perimeter, and just applying some 99% IPA on it. So I decided to go a little bit further. I tried some other prints, which shall not be named, and they didn't work out as I hoped. We won't talk about those. But we did do a vase. We found this vase over on Printables.com. No longer Prusa Printers, but Printables.com. We did a vase because spiral vase mode is pretty good with vases. And this is what we got. It's pretty cool looking. So I decided to go with spiral vase mode. We did this one 0.1 millimeter layer height. I believe I use 190C because I have a nozzle X. So I decided to go a little bit hotter than your normal, what they suggest. And I think they suggested 180. So we got a really cool looking semi-transparent vase here. And I'm pretty sure I could do better if I keep working at this. Because this came out pretty good. The Grogu came out pretty good. The other thing I printed, I just couldn't get it to print. I was trying to use smaller or lesser parameters so that I can get more of a see-through look. But as you probably know, when you go like single parameters for things that are not supposed to have single parameters, sometimes the structure integrity can break down. And that's what was happening. The print was literally falling apart. It was just like, ah! It was falling apart on its own weight. So, yeah, it printed fine when I added like, you know, more than one parameter and maybe a little bit of infill here and there. But, you know, there's probably a compromise I can find. But that's some really cool filament. You know, just printing that out, applying some alcohol, letting it dry, repeating the process, applying some alcohol, letting it dry. You get something that's crystal clear. I mean, this one right here just shows just how clear this can get, right? It's really, really cool. Really, really cool how clear that can get. Okay, so that was the, and this is Grogu, in case you guys don't know, Grogu by Wekster. That vase I found on Printables. I don't have the author's name. I had it right here, but I'll put the link in the show description. Okay, so we did the transparent. Now, we also got a color from Polymaker called, you know, white. There's some kind of white. I forgot the name of it. I just call it white because it's white. I'll put the link in the show description so you can know exactly what I'm talking about. And this time we printed Mini Moon Knight. Mini Moon Knight. And this was a brand new model released by Wekster last week to commemorate and celebrate the Moon Knight series on Disney+. And that's how it came out. This is a very shiny and very bright white. But I don't think you're going to get the sheen and the shine on the camera because it's so bright, but it is definitely bright. If I reduce the lights, maybe you can kind of see. Yeah, that kind of helps a little bit. You can kind of see the glow of this filament. It's very smooth and very shiny. Okay, with the Polysmooth. And it came out really, really nice looking. Very, very nice. Very white. It better be white, right, Bwana? Very white and very smooth and very shiny. And that's kind of like the theme of this Polysmooth filament. Smooth and shiny. And you know I had to print a Stormtrooper, right? You know I had to print a Stormtrooper. You do. I had to print a Stormtrooper. I've got about 100 around here. I think I got more Grogus than Stormtroopers now. My Grogu army is growing, and so is my Stormtrooper army. Both of those are growing. But, I had to print a Stormtrooper. But not just any Stormtrooper. We decided to do a 200% Stormtrooper. This is the biggest I've done. I've done a 150 before, but not a 200%. Lights, please. Aziz! Oh, look at this big boy. Oh, ain't he a chunky mini Stormtrooper? And the Polysmooth white, very, very nice. Came out nearly flawless. I couldn't find very much wrong with it. The first print I did, it failed because I forgot to support his butt thing here. So it was like all spaghetti back here, and I was like, crap, I just wasted filament. So I reprinted it, supported this properly, and yeah, this is very bright. Again, the lighting in here doesn't do it justice on how smooth it actually is. You can kind of make out some of the layer lines if you look really, really closely, but it is very, very smooth, this particular print. And this just begs to be painted. I mean, Stormtroopers are already white. All you gotta do is fill in the black areas, right? This just begs to be painted. Begs. Bwana, are you gonna paint it? I don't know. Maybe. So that came out really nice. Ooh! Woo! Woo! That is super bright on that light, man. Gosh. Very, very nice. So that is the Mini Stormtrooper printed at 0.1mm layer height. I believe I did that one at 220C. Same with the Mini Moon Knight. We did, I think the Mini Moon Knight was 0.2mm layer height, and we did 220C as well. This week, we received our Jessie subscription box. So the next thing that was on the printer is that we tried out some of the new filaments that we got from PrintedSolid.com. If you don't know what I'm talking about, PrintedSolid.com has a subscription box that you can subscribe to, and that particular box will give you some mystery filament every month that you can try out. And it's cool for me for doing a show like this that I can show off different filaments every month. So the one that I tried, it came with two. It came with a neon yellow. You may remember last month we had a neon green. I happen to have a Fortnite V-Bucks here that I did the neon green recently. So that's the neon green we had, and actually Fortnite logo that we did in neon green. This one came with neon yellow, but I didn't print with that one yet. Okay, so we'll do neon yellow some other time. Because I was spending so much time with Polysmooth this week. But we also did mixtape 15. I want to make sure I get the number right. Mixtape number 15, which was originally called Call Your Mauve. Mauve is like this really cool purple. So we did a couple things in Call Your Mauve. We did Moon Knight, which is missing. Moon Knight? Mini Moon Knight is not here. But we did print it, so you have to take my word for it. I'll go get it. Okay, I'm back with Mini Moon Knight. I left them in my next to the printer. And we printed this in Call Your Mauve. Fresh off the printer, I didn't have a chance to blowtorch it or anything and get all the stringing off of it. The little bit of stringing that it had, but came out pretty nice. I like this color. It's a weird purple-ish, brown mauve. I guess mauve is what it's called. And very good filament. Very, very nice filament. Call Your Mauve. Mini Moon Knight. I think this was, I printed this the day this model came out. We did it in Call Your Mauve. And, you know, I got to do a Stormtrooper. The Stormtrooper's quickly becoming my benchy. We did a Stormtrooper with the gun this time. And Call Your Mauve. Does he have a boogie? Oh, yeah, he's got some support boogies. No. I must clean your face. Come here. Come here. Remember your mom called you and she's like... and starts wiping crud off your face. That's what I'm about to do. Come here. I'm going to wipe these boogies off your face. Lick it. But yeah, this filament is actually a pretty cool color. I had a bunch of people ask me on my live stream at twitch.tv/Bwana. They were like, Bwana, what color is that? As soon as I debuted it, as soon as I showed it, because I was printing... things with this color on the stream. There we go. We got the boogies out of his face. There's still a little bit on there, but some support boogies were removed because I supported under his eyes. Call Your Mauve. That one was supported underneath. You can see proper crotch area. I really like these models, Wekster. These, I'm telling you, man, I got an army of Stormtroopers. I don't know why I like those Stormtroopers. Okay. So the next thing I decided to print was also from Printables.com. And actually, no, this one wasn't from Printables. This one was on Thingiverse. And this was a model that I tried to do with the transparent Polysmooth, but I failed. So I decided to do it with another color. I decided to use the neon green. Excuse me, the neon green that we had last week. So this Bowl Splash. That's what I like to call it, a bowl splash. And I was trying to do this with Polysmooth, and it just wouldn't cooperate. But anyway, the green here came out really nice with the Call Your Mauve bowl. So I combined the purple and the green for this very unique looking splash bowl. And I'll put all the STLs in there. And this was a 2-piece print, so you don't need a multicolor. You can just remove one and, you know, get it snug in there. And you can glue it if you want. I decided not to because I wanted to make them interchangeable. I want to print different colors of these and put them in the bowls and see how they look before I do it. No supports needed. This was supportless. Amazing. I just had to slow down the print speeds to get, you know, these top areas to kind of be okay. And that's kind of where the Polysmooth stuff would fail on me, because I got to dial in the settings on those. But with this this neon green, it came out okay. 220C on both of these. Got the bowl and Call Your Mauve, and the splash actually in the neon green. This was from last month's Jessie Filament Box. Okay. Now, the final thing I printed, which just finished today, was Cobra Commander. Eastman released a Cobra Commander on his Patreon, and I was like, I gotta print it because I like Cobra Commander, and I'm actually a fan, more of a fan of Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Cobra Commander, I'm a fan of the Cobra Commander with the shroud over his head versus the Cobra Commander with the helmet. This is Shroud Boy. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Cobra! I was making a joke in my stream about how, you know, if you played He-Man and G.I. Joe and you had Skeletor and Cobra talking to each other, you wouldn't know who's who. Cobra Commander? Ah, you don't know what you're talking about with your He-Man. You gotta put a little S's in there. Very, very similar voices. It was kind of funny. But I haven't printed the base yet, so he's baseless. But it came out really nice. Just goes to show how good this Jessie PLA can be, man. Really, really underrated PLA. Get yourself some Jessie PLA. And this is a good color. Call Your Mauve. It's a weird purple. I think that's what I'm going to call it from now on. The weird purple Call Your Mauve. Very, very nice color. Very, very nice. So that concludes what's on the printer for this week. Again, I spent a lot of time, I'm talking late hours, working through some Polysmooth Transparent. It's a little bit more difficult than the others were. It's a little bit more finickier, and because you're kind of working towards getting a very, very clear finish, so you're trying to confine yourself to, you know, lesser parameters and you know, messing around with speeds and making sure that things come out okay. And it's not your typical print environment. And I applaud those who can really master that filament, because once you do, you can get, you know, just imagine this Grogu, you know, actually, you know, without any flaws. Just imagine that, man. You can make some really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. So that's what's on the printer for this week. And I hope you all enjoyed all of that. This week's giveaway. What I'm going to do, instead of, since this episode was published so late, we're not going to do the giveaway here on the YouTube channel. I humbly ask that you join my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Bwana tomorrow, which is Saturday. Actually, it's today. Today? It's today. Join my Twitch channel today, twitch.tv/Bwana. We do them every Saturday. So if you catch this episode at a different day, just wait until next Saturday. We'll be giving away some Polymaker spools of filament. Thank you, Polymaker, for sponsoring the stream. Polymaker does sponsor us, and they give us some spools of filament to give away. So I want to thank them for helping us out. They sent me those spools of filament, the Polysmooth filaments, so check those out. Hope you guys enjoyed that content. Could be more of that to come. If you guys like it, we'll do more of it. And let Polymaker know, like, hey, yeah, send Bwana some Polylite Silk PLA. I want to see what he does with it. Wink, wink. You know, tell him that, and I'll be glad to print it, because I like to print all the things. Title drop. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. This is episode 6. We're well on our way. Again, I apologize. This was a crazy, crazy week. I didn't think I would be able to get an episode done, but we did. And I'm glad that you all could watch. So thank you for watching. I want to thank my patrons at patreon.com/Bwana. You guys are great. Thanks for making it happen. Thanks for helping me out. If you want to contribute to all my endeavors, I am a full-time content creator. I do 3D printing. I do video game stuff. I do tech stuff. I kind of dabble all over the place. But if you want to help me, go to patreon.com/Bwana, or you can come by my Twitch stream and, you know, drop some bits and drop some subs or whatever you want to do. But patreon.com/Bwana, probably the best way to support me. You can give as little as $1 a month to help me out. Thank you so much, everybody who do support me on Patreon. I really, really appreciate it. That concludes episode 6 of Print All the Things. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember, print all the things. Take care of yourselves. Bye.